You're a podcast listener, and this is a podcast ad. Reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Lips and Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a reproduced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience with Lips and Ads. Go to lipsandads.com now. That's LIBSYN ads.com.
This is the Washington Times front page for Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Dr. Anthony Fauci told Congress he never tried to suppress theories about the potential origins of the coronavirus being from a Chinese lab. Stephen Dinan reports Fauci told a House subcommittee hearing that he keeps an open mind as to what the origin is, but the National Institutes of Health money that went to some Chinese labs did not fund it, a common Republican talking point. The former National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases director also said there was no basis for the 6-foot social distancing rule that dominated life during the pandemic, but that decision was the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's, not his. Hunter Biden's criminal trial on gun charges has begun in a federal courtroom with the selection of 12 jurors and 4 alternates. Jeff Murdoch reports among the jurors are several who expressed strong views about gun rights, and others who became emotional while talking about family members or other loved ones who suffered from addiction. U.S. District Judge Mary Ellen Norica said both sides will begin opening arguments on Tuesday. Biden is accused of lying on a federal gun form about his drug use to purchase a revolver in 2018. He's charged with 2 counts related to false statements in purchasing a firearm and a 3rd count of illegally obtaining a firearm while using drugs. The Biden administration has given Ukraine authorization to use American-provided weapons for limited strikes on Russian territory, but analysts say the slow walk decision has directly led to Russian gains and Ukrainian losses on the ground. Ben Wolfgang reports Ukrainian commanders have said counteroffensive campaigns in the fall of 2022 and the summer of 2023 suffered because of U.S. and allied delays in providing tanks, artillery, and other capabilities at key moments. Allowing Ukrainians to conduct limited strikes on Russian targets could help slow Russia's military advances in eastern Ukraine, but the decision was made months after Russia seized the momentum in the war and is now deep into a major offensive in Ukraine's Kharkiv region. Speaking of Russia and Ukraine, a result of that war has been a global shortage of gunpowder, which is beginning to affect prices for U.S. consumers. Stephen Dinan reports global conflicts have spiked demand, but the U.S. has limited capacity to produce explosive nitrocellulose and gunpowder. Some reports say that China, a major global supplier of nitrocellulose, has restricted shipments to the United States. The global pinch has gone largely under the radar in the U.S., but has been making news in Europe. And finally, after their losses in national elections last weekend, a look at where South Africa's African National Congress goes from here, after only garnering 40% of the vote. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.